War Thunder has several different types of ammunition realistically modeled in-game. However, there is one ammo type that doesn't follow this. Armor-piercing high explosive. This round, in real life, was intended to have an enhanced behind armor effect. It does this through having an HE charge in it. However, the way it's modeled in-game makes it more powerful than it has any right to be. Here I'll show you how it's overperforming in-game. And I'll also discuss potential changes in the future that could happen and what that might change in-game. To further understand why armor-piercing high explosive is a little bit broken in-game, we have to look at other kinetic energy penetrators. With kinetic energy penetrators that don't have high explosive filler, you almost always have to aim for crew or ammo directly. But whenever you use armor-piercing high explosive, because of its current spherical damage model, you will find that aiming just about anywhere in the crew compartment will lead to a one-shot if your APHE is big enough. The issue with this is that armor-piercing high explosive doesn't exactly work like this in real life. One of the things is that whenever an armor-piercing high explosive penetrates armor, it has residual energy. It travels close to the speed of sound when it enters the tank, as long as enough penetration left. This means that a spherical damage model isn't exactly accurate, as the horizontal velocity should be carried. The damage pattern should be more of a secondary cone. If you take a look at the War Thunder roadmap for spring to summer in 2024, you will find, on the bottom right, they do want to change armor-piercing high explosive shells. More specifically, the fragment dispersion pattern, and retaining a projectile head on its trajectory after the explosion occurs. As you notice here, it says, will be based on player voting results. Why we need to vote for this? Because changing this means shots like cupola shots will no longer be very effective in armor-piercing high explosive. Take this example here. I was able to one-shot this M103 because I had armor-piercing high explosive, and I hit his cupola. If we had a reworked damage model for armor-piercing high explosive, this would no longer be possible. This has ramifications for many of the World War II tanks. This will change the battle rating of things, but it will also even the playing field between normal armor-piercing rounds and ones that contain HE filler. While it is satisfying to one-shot a lot of vehicles in armor-piercing high explosive, getting cupola shot yourself, you'll find that is very aggravating with a tank like the M103, which actually has strong armor. With that being said, if it gets voted in, armor-piercing will still do less damage than armor-piercing high explosive just because it lacks the secondary cone. Another thing that's on the roadmap is mentioning crew compartment fires. With those implemented, you'll find that armor-piercing high explosive will be better at setting these fires off in-game. This will be one of the major advantages that armor-piercing high explosive will have in-game. In my personal opinion, I would really like for the armor-piercing high explosive to change this year, because it evens the playing field between ammunition types. Not everyone will agree with this, but I think it would actually be healthy for the game.